Hello everyone, welcome to the Anime Recap Media YouTube channel. Please like the video, subscribe to help our channel and enjoy this full video.
Hantengu, the tiny demon, runs away from Tanjiro, the brave demon slayer. They chase each other to a clearing where Tanjiro attacks Hantengu with his special burning sword. But just as he's about to defeat the demon, something surprises Tanjiro from behind. It's a new smell, different from the other demons he has encountered before. Tanjiro tries to keep his ground, but can't hurt Hantengu anymore because his sister Nezuko's power has worn off. Suddenly, Hantengu uses his own flesh to create a double-bladed dagger and summons a powerful shockwave by beating a drum. The shockwave sends Tanjiro flying backward. In the center of the chaos, 5 huge wooden dragons appear and carry Tanjiro high up into the sky. Just as he's about to fall into the dragon's mouth, Nezuko saves him in the nick of time. She sacrifices her arm and leg to protect him, but quickly heals herself. Finally, they land on the ground and face a new demon. The demon accuses them of being cruel to the weak and calls them terrible villains. Tanjiro is surprised to see a 6th demon, but realizes that he can't sense or see the other 4 demons anymore. Genya was totally confused. He couldn't believe his eyes. The demon in front of him used to be Sekido, but now it had transformed into something else. But then, something strange happened. Genya saw Sekido absorb 2 other demons, Karaku and Yurogi, into himself. And now, he was trying to take in Izetsu as well. A new form emerged, fueled by Hantengu's intense hatred. This demon tapped a drum and trapped the tiny Hantengu in a wooden burrow, keeping it safe. Tanjiro couldn't stay quiet and shouted in protest. But the demon stared back at him fiercely, emitting an overpowering aura that left Tanjiro breathless and speechless. With determination in his eyes, Tanjiro raised his sword, condemning the demon's twisted and unforgivable actions, and vowed to cut off the demon's head, once and for all. This terrifying new demon got all confused when Tanjiro finished talking. It wondered if the people Tanjiro was concerned about were his own family and why it made him so mad. But when Tanjiro disagreed, the demon thought his anger was justified and didn't care about the demon slayer. Tanjiro fired back, saying that helping people doesn't need a reason and that the demon could never understand. The insult really hit the demon's nerves, so he played his drum and sent dragons after Tanjiro. Meanwhile, Muchiro was still stuck in a water pot, watching Gyako focus on something inside a work shed. Meanwhile, at a shed, Kozo stood in front of a weirdo demon, Gyako, trying to stop him from going inside. But Gyako just laughed and teased him, asking if he really thought he could fight. Then Gyako used his water powers to attack Kozo, breaking his knife and hurting him. Gyako wondered why Kozo was protecting the shed when the village chief wasn't even there. But when Gyako looked behind Kozo, he saw Hataru polishing Tanjiro's sword. Gyako realized Hataru wasn't the chief because he was too young, so he tried to get Hataru's attention, but Hataru was so focused on his work that he didn't notice Gyako's attacks. Even though Gyako slashed him and broke his mask, Hataru kept polishing the blade without getting bothered. Gyako was both super surprised and frustrated by Hataru's determination. Meanwhile, Hataru noticed something amazing about the extraordinary sword. It had only 1 letter engraved on it because it had only one purpose. Just as Kozo called out to Hataru, Gyako got really mad at Hataru for not paying attention to him. So he thought killing the swordsmith would be too easy, so he decided to make him let go of the sword instead. Meanwhile, Muchiro's vision was getting blurry, and he realized he might die soon. But the dreamy Tanjiro told him that he doesn't get to decide when his life ends. Dreamy Tanjiro encouraged him to never give up and promised that help would come. As Muchiro closed his eyes and started losing breath, he suddenly heard something hitting a water pot, and it was Kotetsu desperately trying to stab the pot with a knife to save him. But even Kotetsu couldn't cut through it. Then, Muchiro noticed a fish demon with blades sneaking up behind Kotetsu. He tried to get Kotetsu's attention but failed, and the demon attacked, injuring Kotetsu. Muchiro got really scared and told Kotetsu to run away, but the demon stabbed Kotetsu in the stomach. Thinking he was done for, Kotetsu surprisingly walked toward the suspended Muchiro, holding his wound. He touched the water pot and blew bubbles into it, which helped Muchiro breathe. Just then, Tanjiro reappeared out of nowhere, reminding Muchiro that helping others would eventually help himself. As he vanished in the mist, Muchiro saw another strange man with the same red eyes, saying that humans are capable of incredible strength when they help each other. As he breathed the air from the bubbles, he found new strength to unleash one more attack. The Hashira uses mist breathing, second form, 8-layered mist, and successfully cuts through Gyako's blood demon art. Free at last, Muchiro understood why he was fascinated with Tanjiro. He possesses the same red eyes as his father. Muchiro, after his powerful attack, fell out of Gyako's water pot and tried to remove the needle sticking out of his body, but the poison made him feel really numb. As he struggled, he noticed his friend Kotetsu was unconscious and a scary fish demon was about to attack. More demons joined the fight, and poor Muchiro had no strength to stand. He thought he was done for when suddenly, his life flashed before his eyes. In his flashback, he remembered when he was a young kid and how he loved helping his woodcutter dad work. But on one stormy night, his mom got sicker, and he tried to comfort her as his dad had gone to get medicine. Meanwhile, outside in the storm, his dad reached a cliff and found the medicinal herbs he needed. He desperately tried to grab the herbs for his wife, but things took a tragic turn as he fell from a broken rock and died, still holding onto the herbs. Things get worse as Michiro's mother passed away that very night. And then, he was all alone at the age of 10, but he suddenly remembered that he was not really alone because he actually had a twin brother named Yuichiro. As they walked home, Yuichiro started talking about how compassion was useless because it led to the death of their parents, who were too compassionate and couldn't help themselves. Michiro was shocked by his twin's harsh words, but Yuichiro insisted that their conversation was pointless because they couldn't change the past. One hot summer night, both brothers couldn't sleep because of the heat. Suddenly, a scary demon showed up in their house, and it was surprised to see only kids at home and then attacked Michiro. Yuichiro bravely tried to protect his brother, but the demon cut off his arm and blood went everywhere. And oh boy, did this make Michiro so mad he saw a flash of red, unconsciously attacked the demon, and subdued it with gardening tools and wooden stakes, making the demon suffer because it couldn't die. Finally, the sunlight came and made the demon turn into ash. He wanted to see Yuichiro desperately, so he crawled to reach him, but Yuichiro was barely alive. He heard Yuichiro praying to the gods, blaming himself for getting in Michiro's way. He thought his brother was a kind-hearted kid who wanted to help others, but now he was hurt because of him. Yuichiro felt guilty and prayed to be punished instead of his twin. He finally remembered why his name had Mu in it, as his twin cried and held his bloody hand. With his memory returning, a red cloud mark appeared on Michiro's face. Then, he grabbed his sword like a boss and used a mist-breathing technique, and boom. He defeats the fish demons really fast, saving Kotetsu while at it. The Mr. Shira attacked Gyako with his sword. The weird-looking demon was shocked that Michiro was able to escape his water prison. He noticed the marks on Michiro's face and realized they were the same as some kid with earrings Mozen told him about. Armed with his new sword by Kanamori, the young Ashira shows his gratitude. He faces Gyako and his dangerous octopus vase hell, using a technique, mist-breathing fifth form, sea of clouds and haze, to swiftly slice through the tentacles and slashes at Gyako's neck. But the sneaky demon dodged. The ugly demon got butthurt and flares up, attacking with his swarm of flesh-eating fish blood art, but Michiro smoothly evades and then butchers them using his own breathing techniques. He launches forward to behead Gyako, but the scared demon sheds his skin and disappears to reappear on a tree. Gyako decides to reveal his true form, which is just growing out full arms. He taunts Michiro and promises that no one can survive him when he's serious. Michiro flashes back to that horrific moment when he held his dead brother's hand while maggots infested his body. As he's about to fade off, Amane Obuyashiki came to his rescue with her daughters, tending to his wounds while he refused to let go of Yuichiro's hand, knowing he would have died otherwise. Fueled by a simmering rage that persists within him since that fateful day, he trained relentlessly so he can unleash his fury to annihilate all demons. Gyako, using his new body, attacks Michiro with incredible speed and his fancy moves, making it impossible for the Hashira to land a hit. Then out of nowhere, Michiro slowly moves within the mist, and with one smooth swing, he finally beheads Gyako, ending the battle. He tries to regrow his body while insulting Michiro, but the Hashira silences him with a death by 1,000 cut strike, sending him to hell. Hataru approaches the Mr. Shira, grateful for saving their lives. But he notices that Michiro is turning pale, and while the boy insists he's fine, he suddenly starts trembling and struggling to breathe. He collapses, frothing at the mouth. Horrified, Hataru calls for assistance, but Haganazuka just kept on working the blade, ignoring him. Tanjiro faces off against the wood-style dragon heads. The dragons attack him with the same powers the emotion demons had, while Nezuko and Jinya also find themselves in peril as they confront the demons' dragons. Tanjiro tried to dodge their attacks, but got his left foot crushed by powerful winds, and then he got struck by lightning. He's desperate, he can't use his breathing technique to heal himself, so he runs a distance thinking he's out of danger, but the demon just extends its reach by causing the wood dragon to emerge with smaller necks that grab Tanjiro and swallow him whole, leaving Nezuko and Jinya shocked. Suddenly, our lovely Mitsuri springs into action, and that sight was glorious. She leaps onto the dragon's neck, slicing it apart and freeing Tanjiro. As the dragon disintegrates, Mitsuri carries the injured demon slayer and lands safely. The love Ashira stands up, with resolve in her eyes, determined to rescue Nezuko and Jinya. She launches forward to confront the upper-rank demon, whipping her special blade. Mitsuri remains determined to face the embodiment of hatred, moving and flowing like the winds with insane acrobatic moves, using her blade to subdue the attacking dragons, causing them to collide with each other.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.